women of all ages, all types of women, all types of backgrounds need to have a voice or a platform in which to be seen. Visibility for me is kind of what spurs me on personally, and I think that is what inspires me to want to do something towards International Women's Day. There are certain things within International Women's Day and what I see in Swindon is where I think this is a space that people are already doing things, and how I want to contribute to that day is to bring people together. Over the last 3 years, I've been involved in how the day is organised in the Central Library. And what we do as a bit of a template is bring together women from 4 areas, really. Arts and culture, from the business area, from communities and charities, and from digital technology and exercise and well-being. So for me, it's a ABCDE.
I represent Her Majesty the Queen, who I trust you will agree is one of the most remarkable women of this century. Well, I think so. So today, anyway, is a day of celebration, of enjoyment, of feminism with a feminine face, if I can call it that. And I'm absolutely delighted to open the event. Over to you.
We invite dignitaries each year. Which dignitaries are available will come. And this year, the deputy mayor this year is female, which was great, right? So it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if it was male, if it was a male deputy or the mayor. But it turned out that this year that the mayor wasn't available, but the deputy mayor was, and who's Maureen Penny, and having her presence, just being female, is going back to that thing about visibility. Dignitaries being here allows visibility so that other people can see that women are doing this, are doing these roles.
Most mayors just look at charities, and I do have to support charities as well. But I want my big thrust to be on bringing organisations, however large or small, together.
And to be fair,
Wiltshire has a Lord Lieutenant, who looks after the Queen. That's her job. So the day before International Women's Day, our event at the festival, she was with the Queen. And then, boom, she's with us the next day. And that's the Lord Lieutenant Sarah Charlton. Amplify Your Voice was an opportunity to work with the business community a little bit further. And when we started to think about the business community in relation to the exhibition, The Female Aesthetic, Women in the Public Domain, we'd gone out and spoken to women in business, and the women and 2 companies had sponsored that event for us this year as well, True North and Abbey Communications. And we were talking about and discussing, like, when you are needing to be in the public domain as a female, what that can be like. We talked a lot about how when you do put yourself forward and you amplify your voice, or you step up as a woman, what are some of the obstacles that can get in the way, or some of the setbacks? And so Amplify Your Voice was born out of that.
Another journalist who was then at that time in his 50s thought it would be okay to come up and start stroking the back of my neck. I asked this chap to stop, but he did it every time. So I began to really fear him being in the same room as me.
I also think the issue which Karen touched on earlier with regard to equal pay and the disparity in the pay, I think that's abominable, and I do think that is a current issue in 2017.
In our household, we work together as a team. My husband does all the shopping, cooking and washing up. And because I love gardening, I do all the hedge cutting. But there have been a few times when our neighbors made comments that, oh, your husband should be doing that, from both male and female neighbors. And one time, a man who collects our waste bins thought that I didn't have a husband. Therefore, I had to do it myself. So my reply to them is that whoever is good at hedge cutting gets the job. So I think education is key in bringing our children up without restriction of their sex.
I'm an emerging curator, and when I say emerging is that it's actually 10 years ago that I came to the arts. And as a curator, and why I say emerging is that I learnt that women who are using their arts to express themselves or tell something about society inspires me to want to be a part of that conversation. So for this year's International Women's Day, for the first time, I applied to the Arts Council and put together a proposal for the show that we have here called The Female Aesthetic, Women in the Public Domain. And I wanted to celebrate the women who are in the archive, the public archive of Swindon. And I selected 5 of the artists that are in that archive. But I also wanted to celebrate the fact that women are working in the public domain all the time. Our plans are to keep moving forward and keep moving forward with sustainability. By the time it comes around to March the 8th again, there'll be an expectation that there's going to be an event happening, and it's going to be a celebration or an inspiring day or an elevated day or a day of education for the women in this town, women and girls in this town.